Omega-level mutants stand at the peak of mutant power. The title isn't about being skilled or dangerous, it's about having an ability with no measurable limit. An Omega's core mutation doesn't plateau, it stretches infinitely, making them unpredictable forces of nature rather than just powerful fighters. Iceman is a perfect example. His power started off looking like parlor tricks. Ice slides, snow blasts, maybe the world's best frozen margarita machine. But when pushed, his control reaches molecular levels. He can freeze oceans, manipulate global temperatures, and theoretically, kick Earth into a new ice age. His ceiling doesn't exist, which is the exact definition of Omega. Jean Grey bonded with the Phoenix Force is another standard bearer. Her telepathy and telekinesis can bend matter, erase lives, and alter reality itself. The crucial point isn't what she does, but what she could do. Her abilities scale endlessly, far beyond what training or imagination can contain. Storm completes the trifecta. Originally classified Alpha, she was later recognized as Omega once it became clear her weather control extended to planetary and even cosmic scales, redirecting jet streams, destabilizing ecosystems, manipulating solar winds. Her powers are vast enough to reshape worlds. But the Omega rule is strict. It applies only to one domain. Magneto embodies this. His command of magnetism is limitless. He can manipulate the planet's electromagnetic field or crush enemies by tugging at the iron in their blood. Yet outside that, he is still mortal. Omegas are infinite only within their specialty. What makes them terrifying isn't raw strength, but the fact that they can bend the rules of existence. Alphas dominate the battlefield, Omegas change it, rewriting the conditions of the fight itself. They aren't just weapons, they're potential extinction events waiting to happen. Alpha-level mutants occupy the tier just below Omega. They're among the most powerful and versatile superhumans alive, but their abilities have limits that can be measured and defined. Think of them as the military's nightmare scenario. Walking arsenals who can dominate most battlefields, yet still operate within the rules of physics. Cyclops is the model example. His optic blasts are concussive energy beams capable of tearing through sentinels, leveling armored vehicles, and reducing buildings to rubble. But unlike an Omega, there's a ceiling. His blasts don't grow infinitely stronger, they're devastating but predictable. Shielding, counter-energy fields, or sufficient durability can withstand them. This clear line of measurement is what keeps Cyclops in Alpha territory rather than Omega. Wolverine also exemplifies the category. His healing factor is legendary, allowing him to recover from gunfire, explosions, and wounds that would instantly kill others. Add an adamantium skeleton and feral combat skills, and he becomes one of the most lethal beings in existence. But again, there's a boundary. He can't regenerate from vaporized atoms, and he doesn't scale endlessly with damage. His brutality is unmatched, but it's still finite. Storm offers a different angle. For years, she was considered Alpha because her weather control, though immense, was assumed to have limits. She could summon hurricanes, redirect lightning, and devastate regions. But scientists and mutants alike believed her reach stopped short of planetary or cosmic impact. Only later, when her control proved limitless, she was elevated to Omega. This highlights how Alpha can serve as a transitional category for mutants who seem capped until they shatter expectations. Alphas are defined by mastery. They wield immense, battle-ready power with reliability and precision. Compared to Omegas, they're semi-trucks to rockets, terrifying engines of destruction, but still confined to the road rather than the stratosphere. Beta-level mutants are defined by a balance, strong abilities paired with limitations or costs that prevent them from reaching Alpha status. They can be battlefield assets, sometimes critical ones, but their powers come with trade-offs, vulnerabilities, flaws, or physical markers that reveal the price of mutation. Beast is a classic example. His strength, agility, and scientific genius make him invaluable to the X-Men. Yet, his mutation comes with a burden. His blue animalistic form. It's not just cosmetic. It isolates him socially and constantly reminds allies and enemies alike that he is other. Betas like Beast embody the paradox of being powerful while simultaneously stigmatized by their own gifts. Colossus demonstrates a different version of the category. His ability to transform into organic steel grants near invulnerability and enormous strength. In combat, he's a wall of metal capable of shielding allies and crushing enemies, but his power isn't limitless. He sacrifices aspects of normal human function while armored, and his durability has an upper threshold. He can be broken by overwhelming force or exotic abilities. Colossus is formidable, but not untouchable, which keeps him grounded firmly in beta. Nightcrawler represents the tactical side of beta level. His teleportation is one of the most versatile powers in mutant combat, allowing him to bypass defenses, disorient enemies, and strike from impossible angles. However, his gift comes with boundaries. He can only teleport to places he can see or vividly remember, and extended use takes a physical toll. His demonic features, blue skin, tail, glowing eyes, further mark him as visibly mutated, adding another layer to the cost. Beta-level mutants reveal the reality of power in the XMen universe. They are not flawless weapons, but warriors who live with compromises. If alphas are sleek, polished champions, betas are scarred veterans, strong, reliable, but forever shaped by the weight of their own mutations. Gamma-level mutants represent raw potential chained by instability. Their abilities can be devastating, but they are unreliable, uncontrollable, or linked to severe drawbacks. A gamma can change the tide of battle or accidentally ruin it, depending on their state of control. Rogue's early years show this clearly. Her touch absorbed powers, memories, and life force from anyone she contacted. In combat, that made her one of the most dangerous mutants alive. In daily life, it was a curse. Physical contact was impossible, intimacy off limits, and a moment of slip meant endangering even allies. Until she gained her mastery later, her uncontrolled absorption placed her firmly in Gamma territory. Havoc, Cyclops' brother, illustrates another form of instability. His plasma blast can incinerate enemies and rip through defenses. But historically, his control has been erratic. Without specified gear or rigorous training, his energy output risks collateral damage to teammates and civilians alike. Havoc's volatility underscores the hallmark of Gamma classification, incomplete mastery. Legion or David Haller complicates things further. His psychic potential is immense, bordering Omega, but fractured by dissociative identity disorder. Each person manifests a different power, making him both limitless and unstable. His classification shifts depending on the story, but his unpredictability has often placed him in Gamma's domain, as much a threat to his friends as to foes. Gamma-level mutants embody mutation as both weapon and curse. Their powers are dangerous not because of scale alone, but because of inconsistency. They inspire fear not through dominance, but through unpredictability, the possibility of catastrophe at any moment. Delta-level mutants sit in the category of low-powered. Their abilities are real, but limited, either narrow in scope, easily neutralized, or dependent on specific conditions to matter. They stand apart from humans, yet rarely shift a battle on their own. To make an impact, they often need preparation, strategy, or teamwork. Forge embodies this perfectly. His mutation is an intuitive genius for technology. He can design and build almost anything, often creating devices that rival the most advanced science on Earth. But this gift is situational. In the middle of a surprise attack, his mutation doesn't provide raw strength or defense. His advantage depends on having the right invention at the right time. Without tools, he's vulnerable. Domino represents a subtler edge. Her probability manipulation bends luck in her favor. Bullets miss, weapons jam, and opportunities appear at critical moments. While this makes her a formidable fighter, the effect is indirect. Luck doesn't fire a laser or punch through armor, it tilts odds. Without training, skill, or weapons, her power wouldn't carry her far. Emma Frost's secondary mutation also touches Delta territory. When her body shifted into diamond form, she gained durability but lost access to her telepathy. She became physically strong but not invincible, and far less dangerous compared to her Omega-level psychic potential. Delta mutants highlight the spectrum of mutation. Not every gift is world-shaking. Some are narrow, subtle, or situational. But with the right mind and the right moment, even a Delta can alter the outcome of a fight. Epsilon-level mutants represent the lower tier of classification. Their mutations are minimal, cosmetic, or limited that they offer little advantage in combat or survival. For many in this category, their gifts mark them as different without giving them meaningful power, leaving them especially vulnerable to prejudice and danger. Beak is a clear example. His mutation altered his appearance into a bird-like form, complete with hollow bones and talons. Yet the expected advantages, flight, enhanced strength, or keen senses, never came. Instead, he was left with a frail body and an outsider's appearance, his mutation more burden than weapon. Maggot falls into the same space. His digestive systems was replaced with two slug-like creatures that process food externally before returning energy to his body. While unique, it was hardly a battlefield asset. The power made him unusual, even unsettling, but did not elevate him into the ranks of heavy-hitting mutants. Skin is a member of Generation X, had 6 extra feet of loose skin that he could stretch or manipulate. This ability provided some unconventional combat tactics, but against more versatile mutants, he was consistently outmatched. His mutation gave him distinction, but not dominance. Epsilon mutants highlight the randomness of evolution. Mutation is not a gift distributed with fairness or balance, it's a genetic lottery. For every Omega capable of reshaping worlds, there are others left with quirks that complicate life without granting protection. They are the most human of mutants, carrying difference without the shield of overwhelming power. Omega-level mutants sit at the top of the hierarchy. Marvel defines them as mutants whose primary power has no measurable upper limit, abilities that cannot be capped, quantified, or mastered into completion. Iceman demonstrates this perfectly. His control over temperature and moisture extends to planetary levels, giving him dominance over water in every form. Storm, once reclassified, was recognized as an Omega because her weather manipulation scales from local storms to global climate systems, even reaching into space. Jean Grey, bonded with the Phoenix Force, embodies the pinnacle of psionics, her telepathy and telekinesis extending far beyond comprehension. The distinction is crucial. An Alpha can reach peak efficiency within their power set, but an Omega has no ceiling. Their abilities don't end with mastery, they grow indefinitely. Omega mutants are less individuals with skills and more elemental forces of nature, capable of reshaping the world itself. Some mutants sit outside even the Omega category because their powers don't just stretch limits, they rewrite reality itself. Franklin Richards, though rarely active as a mutant, demonstrates this level by creating universes and reshaping existence on a cosmic scale. He isn't merely powerful, he's a walking multiverse anomaly, often labeled Beyond Omega. Proteus offers another case. His ability to alter reality is vast but unstable, eroding his own body and forcing him to constantly seek new hosts. His power threatens the fabric of existence itself. These mutants don't fit the hierarchy. They erase it, proving mutation can surpass cosmic law. Omega mutants are defined by powers with no measurable ceiling, but that limitless scope applies only to a single domain. Magneto illustrates this perfectly. As an Omega of magnetism, his control is absolute. He can manipulate planetary magnetic fields, disrupt tectonic plates, or draw iron from a bloodstream. Yet outside magnetism, he's still human. He can be injured, killed, or outmaneuvered if his specific power is neutralized. His infinity has boundaries. Beyond Omega mutants occupy a different plane. Franklin Richards doesn't just extend the domain, he rewrites existence itself. Reality warpers like him or Proteus aren't classified as weapons but as anomalies. Their abilities closer to authorship than combat. They unmake rules rather than play by them. This is why Marvel rarely drops them into standard X-Men stories. Omegas keep conflict meaningful, while Beyond Omegas dissolve it entirely, turning battles into existential crises rather than struggles of power. Secondary mutations complicate the neat hierarchy by showing that mutant powers can evolve over time, often unpredictably. These aren't upgrades in training but genuine biological shifts, altering abilities and even reclassifying a mutant's tier. Emma Frost provides one of the clearest examples. Initially known as a premier telepath, she later manifested the ability to shift her body into an organic diamond. In this form, she gained near indestructibility, though at the trade-off of losing access to her telepathy. Her second mutation wasn't an enhancement of her first, it was an entirely new state of being. Beast underwent a similar transformation. His mutation intensified, altering his body into a more animalistic blue-furred form. It heightened his agility and senses but further marked him as visibly different, leaving him straddling the line between beta and gamma. Secondary mutations prove mutation is fluid, not fixed. Classification is only a snapshot, never a final verdict. In the future timeline of House of X and Powers of X, mutant kind turned to genetic engineering to create chimera mutants, hybrids combining multiple mutant gene sets into a single body. These beings shattered the traditional classification system. They didn't sit at alpha, beta, or omega levels. They stacked powers in ways nature never allowed. Rasputin IV is the most notable case, engineered with traits from Colossus, Kitty Pryde, Eunice the Untouchable, Quentin Quire, and X-23. She embodied invulnerability, intangibility, psychic power, adamantium claws, and physical resilience simultaneously. While none of those abilities alone exceeded Omega status, their combination made her a uniquely formidable force. Chimeras exposed the flaw of the classification chart. It was built for natural mutations. Once genes are combined like weapons in a laboratory, the system collapses. Each chimera becomes an arsenal, unpredictable and dangerously unstable. Some mutants become more than their natural genetics through external intervention. Apocalypse's horsemen embody this concept. Existing powers are not just amplified, but reshaped into new, deadlier forms. Archangel illustrates the shift. Once angel with ordinary feathered wings, he was remade into a weapon with razor-edge metallic wings, heightened speed, durability, and regenerative capacity. Such enhancements blur the boundaries of classification. These mutants aren't just purely products of evolution, but hybrids of biology, technology, and sometimes mysticism. The system was built to categorize natural mutations, and once DNA is forcibly rewritten, its categories begin to lose coherence. Some mutants fall off the scale entirely when their powers are stripped away. The Scarlet Witch's No More Mutants spell erased abilities from thousands, leaving them baseline human in an instant. Once that happens, classification becomes irrelevant. There's nothing left to measure. This illustrates the fragility of mutant identity. An Omega who once bent reality or a Gamma struggling for control can both be reduced to ordinary status. Mutation isn't guaranteed. It's as temporary as it is extraordinary.